Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, or good evening, wherever you are in this beautiful world. It's Friday, and it's Friday of inspiring stories. And let me just quickly introduce one of the most inspiring stories I have found so far. Just Googling and browsing and surfing throughout the internet, I found this amazing story, this amazing man we have today, Masood Osmani. Before we start to talk about his life and his book, which actually is compilation of his lessons, his life lessons, I want to quickly explain how I met Masood. Um, Googling, or let's say finding amazing content on the internet, I found a really great conversation in Clubhouse about the power of habits, the power of body, and the power of what actually we are putting into our bodies, the power of food, the power of nutrition, and the influence of this and the impact of this in our everyday lives, performance, and mood, and of course, our everyday thoughts. So, saying this, I want to introduce my friend Masood because I met him through this amazing topic about how the power of our body and, of course, our connection with our mind can transform lives. So, welcome, Masood. Please first introduce yourself as well. And before we start to talk about your life, which actually we have already a video, please just share with us who are you and what do you do right now?
Thank you so much, Roberto. It's a pleasure actually to be here. Well, my name is Masood Osmani. I born in Afghanistan. I moved in India in 1991. I was there for 10 years. Then moved to Canada, Vancouver, this beautiful place, since 2001. Yes, so that's basic my name and all. And let's get into topic. And what I would say that I lived most of my life through adversities and sufferness. I realize now, I understand now that it was a gift. It has given me the strength, knowledge, and confidence to share my story with the world, to show that anything is possible. One conscious decision has changed my life forever. I'm sure this story will do that for you. Thank you.
Thanks to you, my friend. So again, we're gonna play right now a video that explains much better what we are, why Masood has a really inspiring story, and what it's worth to share it and to learn it, and to actually also get the best life lessons from his life and from his book that actually we're gonna talk about more in a couple of seconds more. But let's jump into who is Masood Osmani and why he has a so inspiring story. I will present a video right now that we're gonna start to commenting every 15 or 20 seconds. Okay, so let's start.
Walking along a trail in the night's darkness, in a state of denial, helplessly losing to anxiety and depression. In his ongoing battle of cancer, he now faces the probability of a divorce. What will happen with my children? He whispers to himself as the tears drip down his face. The darkness consumes him. Every step he takes is a battle as the chemotherapy has left him powerless. Depression is an understatement, and all it does is compound on his anxiety. The truth and reality are beginning to set in. As the dark clouds roll in, they cover the moonlight. It's now the darkest of night, just like the man's life. He is lost and begins to worry as he uses all his energy to scramble. In the darkness of the night, the powerless man stumbles down a ravine, tossed and turned in every direction, hitting trees and rocks as he crashes down at the bottom. He awakens and begins to open his eyes as the raindrops fall on his helpless body, smothered by physical and emotional pain. Confused as it is now in the morning, what happened? he says to himself. He can't move, and panic begins to overwhelm him. The cries for help begin. Help me! Please help me! I'm stuck! A doctor.
Masood, you are explaining in this video what was the struggle to begin with, which actually is facing death, literally dying from cancer. So tell us, Masood, how was this process of your life? How do you find out? Of course, what was before? How was your life before the cancer diagnosis, and what was actually your life through this struggle?
Well, I would say close to the movie, but the more truth. In 2017, I got diagnosed with blood cancer called ECD. It's so rare that only 500 people has it. And they gave me a year to live. It was the same time that I lost my wife. She asked for divorce, and everyone has their own choice. So it's not necessary that two people have to live forever. She had made the decision. She left and she divorced. And it was the same time that I lost my business and I lost my wife. If you see some slur in the speech, it's because I got my speech back. So I've been, as the movie shows, it's a metaphor that when you go through adversities, you're going through a very dark time, and it's like you're falling in a ravine or in a hole. So that's how I felt. That's why I expressed my emotions, my feeling, and my truth, just because I was going through all those things, and exactly that's how I felt. So I fell down in a ravine, and let's watch what's going to happen next.
Okay, let's watch.
Doctor walking along the trail hears the man's plead for help and stands at the top of the ravine. Please, help me!
Are you hurt?
Yes, I have fallen. I am hurt and can't get up.
I can help.
He pulls out his notepad, writes the man some prescriptions, folds it up, and throws it down the ravine.
Try these and I will check on you next week.
No, please, don't leave me! After a few hours, a priest is walking along the trail and hears a man begging for help. He approaches and sees the man at the bottom of the ravine.
What happened, my son?
I have fallen. Please, help me. Can you get me a rope?
God is here for you, my son. Pray to him, and I will pray for you.
Then the priest walks away. No, wait, please don't leave me. Shortly after, a psychologist close by hears a man cry.
Are you okay?
No, I'm hurt. Can you please help me?
Of course.
Oh, finally, thank you.
But I want to ask you a question first. Can you tell me about your childhood?
I was born into a dysfunctional family where everyone was so involved with themselves, yet at the same time they depended on me for everything. I found myself putting everyone else first and never took care of myself.
I guess I know what your problem is. You have created a codependency and avoid self-love. You should write down your childhood memories and address them so you can feel better. This will take some time, so I will come check on you next week.
What? No, please help me! Now the man feels worse than before as he recalls his childhood. As the man begins to lose hope, he hears a sound like the singing of a young man. The man calls for help.
Are you okay, mister?
No, I'm hurt and I can't get up. Can you get some help, please?
No, it's okay, mister. I can help you.
The young man jumps down the ravine. No, why did you do that? Now we are both going to be stuck down here.
Don't worry. Let me tell you a story. When I was 18, I hated the way I looked. I was skinny, I was unhappy, and I wasn't attracting anyone into my life, let alone an emotional relationship. I always had this desire to help others, So I knew I had to drastically change my life in order to do so. I undertook a massive educational initiative that taught me all about the human body and in turn got me into bodybuilding.
We're gonna stop here. So, Masood, before we're gonna jump up to the phase of how exactly you got into the bodybuilding and the wisdom of understanding your own body, I want to ask you. So, you're dying by cancer. You got divorced. Your business got to bankrupt. How you face this? How I mean, I can imagine you must have suicide thoughts. You must have facing kind of the being in the darkest moment, in the darkest hour, where you see, let's say, no life purpose, no life. No, I mean, no sense of being a human being, right? So, what's happening in that moment? Can you explain? I mean, it's a difficult question. Can you explain us a little bit what was going on
Yeah,
there in your
sure,
life?
sure. Well, you know what? As human being, the first thing we do is just pity party, being victim, right? So in this movie, we can see that. So first, I want to say it's a metaphor that if you see this guy is suffering, I'm sure most of you audience will resonate with that. See, a doctor comes and he wants to help. But what he does, he just write down prescription, throw it, and say, try this, I'll come check on you. A priest come, says, pray to God, I'll pray for you. A psychologist come and says, oh, that's what they do. Can you tell me about your childhood? You have codependency and avoid self-love. You should address your childhood so you feel better. Exactly, this is what they do. This is what I felt. When I went to doctor, I was on depression pill and this and that. When I went to priest or mullah and Muslim, they all God is there, pray to him, I pray for you. And when I went to psychologist for 3 years, going around and around, digging my childhood, in spite of, okay, this guy is suffering from cancer. He got divorced. He has a year to live. He cannot talk. He lost his business. So let's get it. This is the issue. But nobody gets into that. And what I did, the guy was in the devil, it's a metaphor, it's me. But the younger guy, is me too. He's come to save him because the message here is nobody but you can save yourself. If you're looking for somebody else to come and save you, good luck. Not gonna happen. And in the movie, it's all gonna come, but it's okay. I can tell beforehand because it's relevant to your question. Yes, I thought of suicide. That's the first thing came because that's the easiest way that most of people choose because you end up. Now let me tell you, when you die, you don't know you die, but you get problem to your friends, family, kids. You die, you're gone, but you killing them every second day, every moment. So this is something that you know what I think it's good to watch the other part. Then I can start because everything is. I will take some meaning from the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
I mean, I love this part of the movie that you just watched. That actually, I mean, it's really good. It's really perfect metaphor. You fall down to. I mean, I don't know if a word exactly you will fall down, but yeah, in the cliff exactly.
yeah,
So,
or
okay, great. And then I mean, and this is really the important part of this powerful that you're dying because you are not only dying physically, all the people surround you who are supposed to save your life, either a doctor or a psychologist, they are actually also pushing you to death, right? Because basically you, I mean, you have a death sentence at this point of your life because you have such a strong cancer, and I mean, definitely your uh, communication is also limited because you can already decide your life clearly, right? And your family also decided to abandon, so there is no one out there who can actually uh, take a wise and informed decision about your life, what to do next, right? So basically you are forced to just deal this with yourself and actually push yourself into
To
no.
die. You have to kill yourself. But don't get me wrong, they are trying to help you. Everyone tries to help you. They write the prescription. The psychologist try to clear up your childhood. That's what happens problem. But the thing is, it's pushing people to commit suicide, to give up. So that's why I say the only person can save you is you. And this movie, the next part, is gonna tell my it's gonna tell my down and up, then down, then I'm thriving. This is the whole thing. So I can't wait to see people's
Okay,
reaction.
then we're gonna jump to the part of exactly who, no other but by yourself, but yourself, where is the only one jumping into the cliff and trying to rescue, right? So let's watch the next part.
After the physical shift, my confidence began to transform, which furthered my bodybuilding career and also led me into modeling. I utilized this new level of knowledge and confidence, and I started to give back by training others to refine and enhance their life through fitness. See, as I evolved and I grew, I managed a major fitness franchise and I got certified in nutrition. The better I got at my job, better my people got. And this only made me push harder and further than ever because I had my purpose. I wanted to give back and help the world. The year was 2007, and I was in the best place of my life. My career, health, finances were in the best place ever. It was specifically March 20th, the new year in the Persian calendar, and I meet the woman of my dreams. She is exactly who and what I've always dreamed of. Now I'm a truly blessed man. And just when I thought things couldn't get any better, in 2009, my wife and I were blessed with the most precious gift of life, a baby girl, my daughter. We named her Danya, which translates to world. And she is our world. Life was perfect. We were in love, we traveled the world, truly a blessed family. And just when we thought things couldn't get any better, we were yet again blessed with a baby boy, Danielle. I couldn't ever expect or want anything more in my life. And now I fast forward to 2016. One day, I started feeling fatigued and very weak. And this is definitely rare for me. And it continued to get worse by the day. I began having coordination problems to the point where I was unable to do the simplest tasks. One morning, I was training 2 of my clients, and I wasn't feeling well, and I started to become dizzy. Then it happened. I collapsed right in front of them. I passed out, and when I came back to, I had no idea what had happened. I went to the hospital, but they couldn't determine what was going on. Day by day, my coordination worsened, and I began to slur my speech. It got so bad to the point where I had to quit my job and stay home, constantly seeking medical help to try to figure out what was happening to me. Depression started to set in. I felt hopeless, and all I wanted was answers to my situation. Finally, 1 year later, I got diagnosed with blood cancer, not only facing the biggest battle of my life, it was also at this time that I lost my wife and my business. I fell into severe depression. My life was slipping right through my fingers, and I couldn't do anything to save it. Chemotherapy and the inability to move caused me to gain 50 pounds and completely lose my physique. The thought of suicide became more realistic by the day. Then, in a moment of hope, I had a memory of where it all began. The skinny kid with no confidence. I then thought about my two beautiful children, and it hit me. If I was able to build one of the most confident and strongest people I knew before, then I know I can do even better because I have my life's purpose, my children, and to help the world. I felt a desire to live once again, and it began.
Masood, when I spend 3 days without no exercising my body, I just feel totally done, depressed, like nothing is working in my life. I cannot imagine. I mean, I'm just using also like a so basic analogy, but what I'm trying to say is I cannot imagine you facing the biggest challenge of your life, which is diagnosed with blood cancer. Not only this, you need to be just laying down in the bed with chemo that actually that kills all your body, and not only this, you, you are facing also abandon from your wife, your family, and you are just there by your own. Uh, with, I mean, I want to understand that from the moment that you are passing through this phase of, let's say, the bottom, or trying to just convince yourself, I mean, life is already over, there is no hope, till you find this little moment in your life back then when you find your purpose, which actually is nutrition and bodybuilding, and then you pick up that moment in your life which, you know I choose that path, and that fulfill me. Let's do it again, but now apply it to a really more powerful challenge, which is save your life. How was this process of finding, or every day struggling, like, I want to do it, I will do it, let's do it.
Great question, Roberto. See, my book and my movie is about this. It's called Life's Purpose. So, and also, this is my book about this life purpose and save lives right now. So, what saved me is my purpose in life. I know that, and also I'm sure this movie and book will be taught in schools and colleges, because it shows when you're young and you're in the right track, it will pay off when something tragedy happened in your life. So that paid off, and also at that time, my motivation was to be more attractive, to get somebody in my life emotionally involved. But this time, it was my children. See, I want to say something. Maybe I want to teach something. People say, "Oh, she raised their children very well." My question is, only we raise cattle, we raise dogs, we raise pets, we raise birds. We don't raise human being. Human being, when they see you, they learn. So one thing I'm certain, that everyone in the life will fall. But if you have a role model, when you see somebody, now I didn't want my children to say, "Oh, my dad was a loser, he committed suicide." No. I want to show them that yes, when you fall, you can get up and get up stronger. That was my message. That was my purpose in life, because I thought I have done it before. Now I can do even better, because my children and I want to help the world, because what we do for ourselves, Roberto, will die with us. But what we do for others lives forever. I want to live forever. I want to leave my mark and legacy in this planet and go, because we are gonna die. But what's gonna left is, I'm 100% sure I accomplish that, and not only that, It's just there's a sense of happiness within me right now because I did it. It's not about money. Well, I have everything I want. I cannot eat more, drive more, better car, or wear or whatever. It's just now about people, about my kids. Because when they fall down, they say, "Yes, my dad did it. I can do it." That was the reason I got back.
And now we're gonna watch a little bit of how you came back, right?
Please.
And allow me to play the video again.
And it began to burn in my heart. I focused on it every second of the day, and it started to give me the strength to fight back and take back control. I taught myself that the only limits we have are the ones we set for ourselves. I pushed myself and fought back every single day. I started moving and even exercising again. The weight began to dissipate, and I felt more alive than ever before. I didn't stop there. I continued to build my knowledge and added a life coaching certification to my portfolio. Now, I still faced my challenges, but I knew compassion was the answer. I would always send love to the mother of my children and those around me. It was in my heart, the gift to give and love. I remember waking up one morning and finding my speech to be clearer, and a lot clearer. I had an appointment with my doctors going over my PET results, which monitors the cancer cells. My doctor told me some of the best news I've ever heard. My condition is better than it's ever been. There is a feeling deep inside of me that I still feel to this day, happiness. I realized that there is so much more to life. I understand now that our physical life is an exact reflection of our internal life. Even when I thought I had all before.
How we treat our body impacts our mind and the other way around. Explain me this, Masood. What was for, of course, this is a holistic approach, which actually we love it. How exactly do you understand your body and you transform all these into your own recovery?
Well, we human being, by thought alone, we can make ourselves sick. And we human being, by thought alone, we can cure ourselves and build ourselves. We are nothing but extension of that energy source. You call it God, divine, Allah, consciousness, one divinity, energy source. We are nothing but extension of Him, and is everywhere, right? Once you understand that, once you ask Him, then everything is possible. See, right now, the obstacles against me on chemo, that most of my fellow sick people, they're in the bed. Broken heart. We have a saying that it's easy to work with broken hand, but it's impossible to work with broken heart. My heart was broken. I had no energy, 10% of my strength, joint pain, and everything. And on top of that age, I'm 45-year-old now. Now, I can build my physique and mind. How's that possible? Even the doctors, they told me that I will not get my speech back again, or I cannot walk. How's that possible? In this movie, if you notice that what I did is gonna come in future, but it's worth it to repeat this thing again and again. It's about forgiveness. Everything is about forgiveness. Let me tell you guys, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiving means you're not carrying the bitterness within you, which will destroy your life. You notice when I forgive my former wife and others, next day I got my speech back. Week later, I had an appointment for my PATS result, which is monitoring cancer cells. My cancer got stable. And the doctor is like, I don't believe it. How is this possible? Because I don't carry any bitterness within you. It's like you drink poison and you expect somebody else to die. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to come to that point. Hopefully, again, I'm going to suggest a few things. But yes, it's worth to mention this word again and again, forgiveness. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It means you're not carrying the bitterness within you, which will destroy your life.
Let's continue. What's next in Osmani life? I will play the video again.
All before, I neglected taking care of my internal self, my mental well-being. This life lesson taught me that we must take care of ourselves so we can be at our best in order to provide our best self to help others. My life purpose is to help others so they can unleash their potential in all facets of life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and of course, physically. All of these experiences have made me the man I am today. The one that understands no matter what life throws at us, we will prevail. My message to you, sir, is stop being the victim of your own self-created adversity. Take responsibility and provide forgiveness to yourself and others, just as I once did. This starts with understanding, which leads to taking action. So get up, fight back, and take control of your life.
Wow, do you really believe I can do this?
Yes, because I too once fell down this exact same ravine, and the only way I got out of it was from my belief in my life's purpose. We all have a purpose, and mine is supporting you to get back up on your own 2 feet, to follow me out of this ravine. We can and will do this. But I have one question. What is your life's purpose? When I was 18,
Let's try to answer this amazing question. Why you titled your book Life's Purpose? Because it's such a broad concept. It's such also a complex concept. And of course, you have amazing story, a story that every leader should take part of their life lessons. And of course, we're talking about confidence, well-being, mentally, physically, and of course the holistic approach of your life. But why you choose life purpose as a, let's say, your anthem, or the title of this struggle of your life? Can you explain us why is purpose for you and why every person must have a purpose in their lives? Someone not even find it in their own lives and they never struggle, but there are a few who actually really need it. So what's your approach to this?
Well, it's very straightforward. Now, you live in Mexico City, right?
For now, yes.
Yeah. So if you want to go from Mexico City to, let's say, Los Angeles by drive to a particular place, to say I live there, I want you to come there. Now, if you put my address, then you're gonna drive, right? So if you don't put my address, what's possibility do you get in my place? You never know. It's very random. You can't get. So life purpose is this. When we have a purpose in life, then we know where to go. Right now, 99.9% of us, we don't have a purpose. So we just moving around, taking whatever life take us, we're gonna take it. But once you said, okay, this is my purpose in life, Again, I repeat, what we do for ourselves die with us, but what we do for others lives forever. When you have your purpose in life, because we all are for something in this planet, you need to find that, and that's your purpose. It's not that you live everything, you enjoy your life to fullest, but you have a purpose. Then what happened? Universe will support you to get to that purpose. This is the reason I put my book name Purpose, because we all need a purpose in life to thrive, to move on. Without purpose, we are just roaming around remotely and leaving everything to the chance. That's what I can say.
What I love I mean, everyone can have different interpretation of your approach, your life story, of course, your lessons. But what it amazed me the most about your life is this concept of well-being and this concept of well-being and the connection between your body and your mind, right? Because if your body is not you, and if you don't understand your body, first of all, you really cannot also connect it with your mind. And if both mind and body are not really well synced, well, definitely you will be in the hole your whole time. I mean, I have to be honest. I'm not really against this do it yourself or just positive thinking will solve your life's problems. I'm not really against it, but I'm not really also optimistic about it. But what I'm really optimistic is that you need to be surrounded with not only uh, uh, the knowledge, concepts, and of course information that can actually transform your own body, but also transform your own mind. And the outcomes of this, of course, is this well-being and this resilience we are talking about. And at the end, of course, purpose. So this is what also my understanding of your book and your lessons. I mean, before you give me your last thoughts, let's finish the video.
This is this follows my real life.
And this is really great because now we can see how you look like before.
That everything is right. Everything I said is.
I hated the way I looked. I was skinny, I was unhappy, and I wasn't attracting anyone into my life, let alone an emotional relationship. After the physical shift, my confidence began to transform, which furthered my bodybuilding career and also led me into modeling. See, as I evolved and I grew, I managed a major fitness franchise. In 2009, my wife and I were blessed with the most precious gift of life, a baby girl, my daughter. We named her Danya, which translates to world. And just when we thought things couldn't get any better, we were yet again blessed with a baby boy, Daniel. And now I fast forward to 2016. One day, I started feeling fatigued and very weak. And this is definitely rare for me, and it continued to get worse by the day. Finally, 1 year later, I got diagnosed with blood cancer, not only facing the biggest battle of my life. It was also at this time that I lost my wife and my business. Chemotherapy and the inability to move caused me to gain 50 pounds and completely lose my physique. The thought of suicide became more realistic by the day. Then, in a moment of hope, I had a memory of where it all began. The skinny kid with no confidence. I then thought about my two beautiful children, and it hit me. If I was able to build one of the most confident and strongest people I knew before, then I know I can do even better. I pushed myself and fought back every single day. I started moving and even exercising again. The weight began to dissipate, and I felt more alive than ever before. I didn't stop there. I continued to build my knowledge and added a life coaching certification to my portfolio. I had an appointment with my doctors going over my PET results, which monitors the cancer cells. My doctor told me Some of the best news I've ever heard. My condition is better than it's ever been. There is a feeling deep inside of me that I still feel to this day, happiness. I realized that there is so much more to life. I understand now that our physical life is an exact reflection of our internal life.
You are one conscious decision away from an entirely different life.
A man.
Masood, unfortunately, we have to finish this conversation. We have to be really amazing, but I just wanted to close it up with my admiration, my respect, of course, this is a really inspiring story that it deserves more timing, and of course, my invitations to keep talking about this and other topics that I'm sure you are really expert to share in such a resilience in such a body building, such as you need to talk about also about your nutrition business and your life coach business. So a lot of things, but I just wanted to ask you the last questions, which actually, if you can summarize your life lessons in top five lessons, what they will be, which one they will be, or let's say, what are the best advices so far you can give to the people who are watching this?
Well, honestly, if anyone is going to adversities, follow what I say, will be in a better place, 100%. So, just when we go through any adversities and pain, what we do as human being, we start being a victim of our own self-created adversity. So now, first of all, stop being the victim. Why I say that? When I went through these things, I was telling my story to everyone. Elevator, hallway, stairs, bus, SkyTrain, mall, everyone, anyone smile. Roberto, listen. You know what? I got diagnosed with cancer and my wife left me. This was my story. Guess what I learned? 80% of people don't give a shit. 19+% people look at you and say, thank God, it's you, not me. Less than 1% of people who cares, they're more helpless than you, right? So that's first thing. Stop being victim. Second thing, take responsibility. This shit has happened. What I'm going to do? What I'm going to do now? I have responsibility. I have people who love me. I have my kids. I have my family. I have my sister, spouse, father, mother, whomever. I cannot let them down. This is my condition. What I'm going to do? Look at the situation. Find a solution. Don't look back. Go. And third and most important thing is provide forgiveness for yourself and others. As I said, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It means you're not carrying the bitterness within you, which should destroy your life. Now I'm going to share something which I don't think even psychologists have this. This is truth. I think everyone will agree with me. Once you criminalize somebody, Sadhguru says, once you accuse somebody in your mind, no matter how much ever act of forgiveness you do, you cannot clear that. You may, I forgive that person for 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, then it's going to come back. I'm going to tell you the solution for this. You need to accept the person the way the person is. Let me tell you, it's not that other people hurt us, but it's our own unrealistic expectation from them. Do you speak, Robert? Do you speak Farsi? Why not?
Farsi? Did you say Farsi?
Yeah.
No, no, I don't speak Farsi.
Should I hate you? Should I criminalize you from this? Should I? Why? Nobody taught you, right? If you knew, you would do it, right? So this is my unrealistic expectation. Now I blame my former wife or mother of my kids not being like beside me when I need it. Well, if she knew it, she would do it, right? Should never be taught, never know. So poor her, she doesn't know. It's my expectation, right? I don't expect I'm free. This is, see, I think this is more than 5 points, but this is the recipe for freedom. And I'm example. This is the recipe. This is what I want to convey. Stop being victim. Take responsibility and accept the people the way they are. That's it. Then no expectation, not even from your closest people. Give, accept, no expect. That's all I can say.
Wow. Well, you have provided kind of the most amazing interviews I have done so far. Not because of the part, of course, of your life lessons itself, but man, your personality, your way, your easiness to explain such a complexity of what is life struggles is really nice, and I think inspiring, and I think everyone here could understand easily what you're trying to say, even though uh, there is a lot of complexity behind it, right? So, Masood Osmani, thank you so much. I'm privileged to have you here. And of course, everyone who is watching now this, please Google Masood Osmani or find Life's Purpose book, which actually is already available for purchase online. And of course, I think you have already a hardcover version. So please approach Masood Osmani, see what's his activities, his of course presentation and coaching activities. Invite everyone, and of course we wanna hopefully get Masood Osmani here more often. And why not? Let's try to build up a really great course and a really great content, educational content out of his amazing leadership lessons. Thank you so much, Usmani.
Thank
Please,
you.
let's close
Just
this with
want to give a good news. I have made a movie. This movie is going to be available in 7 different languages: Spanish, German, Japanese, Chinese, Hindi, Dari, which was this, English. So it's going to be available on my website. And if somebody is interested, they can follow me on Instagram. You can search me there, and I'll be more than happy if they need some life coaching or personal training or nutrition tips. This is my purpose. I don't care about differential status people. I want to give back to the world. Thank you so much, Robert.
thank you, my friend. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks a lot. Okay.